Now, obviously, this is the most polarizing conversation in all of sports right now. It's the most fascinating conversation.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's not beat around the bush. The WNBA has officially shot itself in the foot. How in the world did we get to the point where Caitlin Clark, one of the most talented basketball players in history, feels the need to leave the WNBA and head to Europe?
They're not handling Caitlin Clark like she's a prized possession, like she needs to be protected.
I mean, are you kidding me? This is not some rookie who hasn't proven her worth. This is Caitlin freaking Clark, and the WNBA let her walk away. Unreal.
The Caitlin Clark conversation is in the process of jumping over into the political realm, and it's going to get even grosser.
Adam Silver should be fired, the head of the NBA. Kathy Engelbert should be fired, the head of the WNBA. Christy Sides, the head coach of the Fever, she should be fired. Lynn Dunn, the general manager of the Fever, she should be fired. And the water boy, Bobby Boucher, or whoever the water boy, fire them all.
Let's get one thing straight. Caitlin Clark isn't just a great player, she's a generational talent. From her rookie WNBA season, she made jaws drop, carrying the Indiana Fever on her back and giving us some of the most electrifying moments in basketball history.
She led the rookies in scoring. She led them in assists. She averaged like 5-6 rebounds a game.
To sum it all up, she was the spark that reignited people's passion for the women's game, getting fans who hadn't watched in years to tune in again. Clark was supposed to be the WNBA's golden ticket, a player with the swagger, skills, and star power to bring in new fans, increase viewership, and put butts in seats.
Reflecting back on Caitlin Clark's rookie season, I have honestly never seen a company fumble the bag so hard.
That's absolutely spot on. Right now, we're left wondering, how did the WNBA manage to screw this up? How do you lose one of the best players in the world? And why isn't anyone inside the league asking themselves that question?
Now, obviously, this is the most polarizing conversation in all of sports right now. It's the most fascinating conversation. Can't wait to hear what you have to say.
Despite her incredible performances on the court, Clark has faced an uphill battle when it comes to recognition and appreciation from both current and ex-WNBA basketballers.
But there are some out there who resent the fact that this young white girl came out there and did her thing.
Caitlin Clark talks her shit. Caitlin Clark is demonstrative. Caitlin Clark, people aren't bothered by that. People aren't bothered by it because they're caught up in the narrative of, oh, here's this, wonderful, kind soul from the great state of Iowa representing Middle America.
Look, Caitlin Clark isn't asking for handouts. She isn't asking for special treatment. She's just asking for the WNBA to do its job, to protect its players, to value its stars, and to make sure that the league doesn't lose the very person who's keeping it relevant. As we said earlier, Clark was meant to be the player who could breathe life into the WNBA. But what does the league do? They drop the ball. They let the toxic environment fester until a player like Caitlin Clark, someone who could have been their LeBron, their Kobe, their Jordan, decides to say, you know what? I'm done. I'll go where I'm respected.
The WNBA has no idea what it's doing with Caitlin Clark. Can we all agree on that? They have no idea. It's a hostile league to Caitlin Clark.
Rumors have surfaced suggesting that Clark might be considering a departure from the WNBA altogether. Videos and social media posts have fueled speculation that Clark has signed a lucrative contract overseas, and many fans are concerned that this could be the last they see of her in the WNBA. But how did these rumors gain traction? The main source appears to be dissatisfaction with the physical toll she's taken during her first WNBA season. 46 fouls in just 1/3 of the season. Let that sink in. Caitlin Clark, the face of the WNBA, is being fouled at one of the highest rates in the league. And what do we get from the WNBA in response? Silence. No protection for their star player, no consequences for the blatant physicality aimed at her, and certainly no respect for the sacrifices she's making every single game. As you're about to see, these aren't just gentle taps or accidental bumps. Many of these fouls are hard hits that leave Clark picking herself up off the floor. One foul stands out from the rest. During a game against the Atlanta Dream, Kennedy Carter leveled Clark with a powerful shoulder block in the third quarter.
Doubled off to Carter. Her jumper is good. Kennedy Carter now.
This dirty, reckless hit wasn't even called a flagrant on the court. Can you believe that? It took them until the next day to upgrade it to a flagrant one. Let's be real for a second. This constant physicality of the league has clearly taken a toll on Clark. After the incident, she admitted, "I know I'm going to take a couple of hard shots a game, and that's what it is. Still, she tries to brush off the hits, though it's clear that they are affecting her performance and possibly her enjoyment of the game. Even Draymond Green, the king of NBA toughness, is calling out the WNBA. He knows what's going on. He knows that Caitlin Clark is being targeted, hit, bruised, and battered. He's telling Indiana to get an enforcer because it's crystal clear the league isn't going to do a thing to protect its biggest star. The disrespect is unreal. Meanwhile, Clark's impact on the WNBA just cannot be overstated.
Game 1 of the Aces Liberty matchup on Sunday drew an average of 929,000 viewers. It's a good number for the WNBA on an NFL Sunday. However, that was down nearly 50% from last Sunday's Fever Sun contest. By the way, not only was viewership down, but attendance was as well. Caitlin Clark is the golden goose.
Look at these numbers. The WNBA All-Star votes went up by 598% because of players like Caitlin Clark. The two top vote getters were Clark and Aaliyah Boston. Last year, the top vote getter was Aja Wilson, who's still the best player in the world. So don't tell me that the league doesn't owe Clark something. They owe her everything. She's the reason people are watching. She's the reason people are buying tickets.
Look at the attendance numbers. Look at the TV rate. That ain't got nothing to do with them. Caitlin Clark's doing that all on her own.
Fans who love Clark aren't just tuning in for her dynamic playstyle. They are rallying around her as the embodiment of a new era for women's basketball. Her presence has elevated the entire league, and it's hard to imagine the WNBA without her at the forefront. But then, all these hard hits and rough plays have got people wondering, will Caitlin Clark stick around in the WNBA, or might she look for other options? You see, it's pretty common for WNBA players to head overseas during the off-season. Jason Whitlock, a well-known sports columnist, has been vocal about the need for players like Clark to seek better opportunities outside the WNBA.
Half the WNBA right now is overseas playing in some foreign league right now because they don't make enough money during the WNBA season to take care of themselves at the level they want to for all year.
Whitlock didn't stop there. He even floated the idea that Clark could lead the charge in forming a rival league to the WNBA, one that could offer players more competitive salaries. His argument centered on the fact that WNBA salaries pale in comparison to the multi-million-dollar contracts enjoyed by NBA stars. Several players, including rookies Nika Mull and Camila Cardoso, have already taken the leap and signed with overseas teams, with Mull playing in Turkey and Cardoso in China. The trend of playing overseas is not new, and it's often seen as a necessary step for WNBA players who want to earn a livable wage. But Clark has not followed this path, yet. Whether Whitlock's idea of a rival league resonates with Clark remains to be seen, but it's clear that she is not immune to the financial realities of being a professional female athlete. As the rumors about Clark leaving the WNBA continue to swirl, it's worth noting that she has been branching out into other pursuits, most notably golf. In a surprising twist, Clark has decided to participate in several high-profile golf events during the off-season. She'll be competing in the Pro-Am Golf Tournament in November, and will also appear at the Annika, the penultimate event on the LPGA Tour, hosted by legendary golfer Annika Sorenstam. But wait, there's more. Clark isn't just playing golf. She's also going to be part of a women's leadership summit that's happening at the same time as the tournament. This shows that Clark is interested in more than just sports. She wants to be a leader and a role model, too. Now, some fans got a little worried when they heard about Clark playing golf. They started joking around, saying things like, what if she gets really good at golf and decides to switch sports? Well, this isn't the first time Clark has shown an interest in golf. In 2023, she participated in the John Deere Classic, where her skills on the course earned her praise from golf pros like Zach Johnson and Ludwig Berg. Johnson, in particular, described her golf game as spectacular and became one of her many admirers. So why is Clark playing golf? Well, for one thing, it's fun. It's a chance for her to try something different and relax away from the basketball court, but it's also a smart move for her career. By playing in events like this, Clark gets to meet new people, make connections, and show that she's more than just a basketball player. Plus, golf is a sport that a lot of business leaders and celebrities play. By getting involved in golf, Clark is setting herself up for opportunities that might come in handy later in her career. It's a way for her to build her personal brand and make connections outside of basketball. Robert Griffin III, who famously dubbed Clark the WNBA's Tiger Woods, went even further by suggesting that her popularity in basketball could carry over to golf. People like Robert Griffin III see what the WNBA does not. He called her the WNBA's Tiger Woods because, just like Woods did for golf, Clark has drawn more eyes to the WNBA than anyone else. But here's the difference. When Tiger Woods was at his peak, the PGA didn't stand by while he got pummeled every time he hit the green. They protected their star. They nurtured his talent. The WNBA, they're sitting back, counting dollars, while Clark takes all the hits. So the WNBA had better wake up, and they had better wake up fast. Because if Caitlin Clark decides to walk away from this league, whether to play overseas or to dominate on the golf course, it'll be no one's fault but their own. They need her, they owe her, and it's time they start acting like it. For now, fans should not worry too much about Clark leaving the WNBA. While she's clearly exploring other interests, and there are rumors of overseas offers, her passion for basketball has been a constant since childhood. Clark herself has expressed that she wouldn't change her current situation for the world, implying that a move abroad isn't something she is seriously considering at this point. Meanwhile, Clark has been spending time with her Indiana Fever teammates and seems excited about the future of the franchise. The Fever, who were perennial underdogs before Clark's arrival, have newfound momentum thanks to her leadership, and she is more than prepared to guide them through the upcoming season. It's also important to note that while Clark has been open about the challenges she's faced in the WNBA, including the physicality of the game, she has not shown any indication that these hardships are enough to drive her away. Her recent comments and actions suggest that she's simply taking advantage of her off-season to pursue other interests while preparing for the next WNBA season. As the dust settles on these rumors, it becomes clear that Caitlin Clark remains focused on her basketball career, at least for now. While the overseas leagues offer tempting financial incentives, and the idea of starting a rival league is intriguing, Clark seems to be content with her current role in the WNBA. Her off-court activities, including her growing interest in golf, are just part of a broader exploration of her passions and interests. For WNBA fans, the off-season buzz surrounding Caitlin Clark is just that, buzz. There's no solid evidence to suggest that she is leaving the league anytime soon, and her commitment to the Indiana Fever seems as strong as ever. As the 2025 season approaches, fans can look forward to watching Clark continue to dominate on the court and help shape the future of women's basketball. In the meantime, the rumors will likely continue, but it's clear that Clark is staying put, at least for now. Whether she's on the basketball court, the golf course, or leading a new movement in women's sports, Caitlin Clark is a name that will continue to make waves for years to come. Now, did you know? Karma just caught up with two of the players who went after Caitlin Clark. Click here to watch how it all went down. Thanks for watching.